every person in higher education in Africa. Better be there or be nowhere.
Continuez de regarder la télé et surtout sur le AAU.
Keep watching it and it will change the way you interact with higher education on the continent. AAU, great job.
I want to tell you that AAU television is fantastic, it's educative, it's informative, and it is a must for anybody who is interested in higher education in Africa.
When I was in Accra last year, I did an interview on this TV. It's a very important mouthpiece.
It's a data, it's a bank of all we need for the development of higher education in Africa.
People should make an effort to view it because it discusses very current issues of development across the continent.
I believe that the station will continue to promote the overall development of Africa, particularly in the tertiary education sector.
AAU TV provides a platform and shares a lot of information to a broader audience. So we wish you all the best and please continue serving
AAU TV,
the voice of higher education in Africa.
I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AUTV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
Good day and thank you for tuning in to the AAU TV Midweek News, and we are coming to you live from the headquarters of the AAU in Accra, Ghana. My name is Maame Otuakoa Nyame, and in our top stories, China-Africa expand higher education partnerships. Multiple Mpox outbreak hits DR Congo. Davido and Chiome's Miami wedding shines. UN condemns Israel's Gaza control plan. And I'll stay with us for the news in detail after the short break. We'll be right back. Now for our very first story, China and Africa are deepening higher education ties through the China-Africa Consortium of Universities Exchange Mechanism launched in 2023. The partnership now connects over 350 African universities with Chinese institutions, fostering joint research, scholarships, staff exchanges, and regional centers of excellence. Leaders aim to boost innovation, improve curricula, and address challenges such as research gaps, talent retention, and cultural barriers, positioning the alliance as a driver of sustainable development.
Launched in 2023, the initiative has already linked over 350 African institutions with Chinese universities, providing thousands of scholarships, building research centers, and creating opportunity for faculty and student exchange. Higher education expert Professor Peng Ying, appointed by the China Association for Higher Education and the Association of African Universities, said long-standing friendship and trust has paved the way for these collaborations, aligning with Africa's infrastructure and human capital priorities. Ghana's Professor Samuel Donko described the partnership as having grown from modest beginnings into a far-reaching framework with over 81,000 African students having studied in China in the past 2 decades. The relationship now spans joint research projects vocational training, and technology transfer initiatives. The meeting also addressed challenges from research infrastructure gaps and talent retention issues to language barriers, calling for long-term strategies to ensure equal and sustainable collaboration. Recent developments include the establishment of joint laboratories in agriculture and technology, digital education centers, and the expansion of the China-African Technical and Vocational Education Training Network. With geopolitical shifts and growing student interest, both regions say the focus remains on building skills, fostering innovation, and creating lasting academic and cultural bonds that will shape the next generation of leaders across two continents.
Meanwhile, in Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu last month announced the renaming of the University of Maiduguri to Muhammadu Buhari University at Federal Executive Council tribute in Abuja 4 days after Buhari's death, sparking widespread opposition from students, academics, alumni, and civil society who argue that the move will disregard university autonomy. And this was made without consultation and honors a leader they say failed to improve education during his presidency. Critics highlight Buhari's tenure from 2015 to 2023, marked by chronic underfunding, prolonged strikes, and more than 600 days of public university closures.
The announcement came from President Bola Tinubu last month during a Federal Executive Council tribute in Abuja, just days after Buhari's passing. Government officials justify the changes as recognition of Buhari's role in national security, cohesion, and discipline. But critics, including ordinary citizens, students, alumni, and the Academic Staff Union of Universities branch at the University of Maiduguri, UNIMAID, strongly disagree. At a special congress on July 24, the union described the move as a flagrant disregard for university autonomy and an affront to academic tradition. Members unanimously rejected the change, pledging legal action to restore the university's original name and urging the National Assembly and civil society to oppose any legislative approval. Opponents point to Buhari's record from 2015 to 2023, when underfunding and policy disputes led to the longest university closures in Nigeria's democratic era, more than 600 days lost to strikes. Education advocates say naming a university after a leader they believe neglected public education is a disservice to students and staff. Alumni argue the renaming could affect the recognition of academic records, while some observers call it politically motivated, aimed more at immortalizing Buhari than honoring genuine contributions to education. The controversy shows no signs of ending, with stakeholders vowing to keep up the fight to preserve the identity of UNIMAID.
Democratic Republic of Congo is battling multiple mpox outbreaks reported since summer 2024 across Kinshasa major cities and rural regions, with cases spreading to neighboring countries due to varied transmission routes, prompting an urgent multinational public health response led by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) and local authorities. The outbreak involved both Clade 1A and Clade 1B strains, each spreading through different but overlapping modes of transmission. Health officials are accelerating vaccination, surveillance, and containment measures to prevent further international spread.
Clade 1A mpox is affecting the West, often transmitted through contact with infected animals, crowded household settings, or sexual contact. Meanwhile, Clade 1B is spreading in the East, responsible for much of the transition across Central and Eastern Africa and even beyond. Neighboring countries such as the Republic of the Congo and the Central African Republic are also reporting cases linked to cross-border spread. In mid-2024, the disease began moving into non-endemic countries to the east, where sustained local transmissions took hold. The United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, along with other global partners, has been assisting the DRC for more than 20 years. Their work includes bolstering disease surveillance, laboratory testing, and workforce training, while supporting case management, border health measures, and community engagement. In October 2024, vaccinations began for people at higher risk or those exposed to the virus. Health officials stress that a single household case is not cause for panic, as rapid contact tracing and vaccination can stop wider transmission. However, confirmed cases have now been reported in Africa, Asia, Europe, North and South America, mostly among travelers, with limited spread to close contacts. Authorities are urging swift international cooperation to prevent this outbreak from becoming a wider global threat.
Please stick with us for news and discovery. After the short break, we'll be right back.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
You're welcome back from the break, and in our Discovery News, the Central Bank of West African States, BCEAO, will launch its interoperable instant payment system on September 30, 2025 to enable real-time transfers between banks, mobile money providers, and microfinance institutions across the 8 West African countries and the Monetary Union countries. The platform aims to cut costs, speed up transactions, boost financial inclusion, and support BCEAO's broader digital finance strategy, including plans for the e-Safer digital currency.
This groundbreaking platform will allow people to send and receive money instantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether they are using a bank, mobile money provider, or microfinance institution. By replacing slower and more costly transfer methods, Central Bank of West African States, BCEAO, aims to make financial services more accessible, affordable, and inclusive for millions. Testing began in June 2025, involving banks, microfinance institutions, and electronic money issuers to ensure the system is secure, reliable, and works seamlessly across all types of accounts. The launch is part of BCEAO's larger push into digital finance, which also includes plans for the e-Safer, a central bank digital currency that could reshape the way money moves across the region, reducing fees and speeding up transactions. BCEAO is calling on financial institutions to adapt quickly, develop more innovative digital services, and compete in an increasingly tech-driven market. By embracing mobile money, payment digitization, and new technologies, the central bank hopes to drive a more connected, efficient, and financially empowered West Africa.
And in sport, Rwandan cyclist Olivia Maniragina, orphaned at 14 and a mother of 2 before 20, has found hope and stability through cycling. In just over a year, she has risen from a novice to a local champion. She now trains with the Bikes for Future team and is preparing for the inaugural Women's Under-23 race at the UCI Road World Championship in Rwanda next month. The initiative behind her journey aims to empower young women and challenge gender stereotypes in a sport long dominated by men.
In the rolling hills of Rwanda, where roads twist through green valleys, a young woman rides not just for victory, but for life itself. At 21, Olivia Maniregana has endured more than many face in a lifetime. Orphaned at just 14, she became the backbone of her family, raising 3 young siblings while caring for 2 children of her own. But then came the bicycle, a gift of hope through the Bikes for Future program. In just 15 months, she transformed from a novice rider into a local champion, her strength forged in the same hardship that once threatened to break her. Now, she's chasing history, preparing for the inaugural Women's Under-23 race at the UCI Road World Championships in Rwanda next month. For Olivia, each pedal stroke is more than training. It's a statement that resilience can outrun circumstance and that a young woman from humble beginnings can ride her way to the world stage. Her story is not just about cycling, it's about courage, possibility, and the power of believing that the road ahead can lead anywhere.
In entertainment, Nigerian Afro star Davido and celebrity chef Chioma Rowland celebrated their highly anticipated white wedding in Miami, Florida on August 10, 2025. The lavish event, tagged Chivido 2025, followed their court marriage in 2023 and the traditional marriage in Lagos in 2024. Attended by dignitaries, global celebrities and industry peers, the celebration featured a black tie reception, luxury fashion moment, and musical performances by top African and international stars. The couple's love story, spanning over a decade, reached its apex with a blend of tradition, glamour, and heartfelt tribute.
It was a wedding that stopped the spotlight on Miami, the grand finale to a love story more than 10 years in the making. Davido, Nigeria's Afrobeat superstar, and Chioma Rowland, renowned chef and media personality, sealed their union in a dazzling white wedding on August 10th. From a Havana night pre-wedding celebration to an elegant black tie reception, every moment was crafted for the history books. The couple's journey, from campus sweethearts to global icons, drew family, political leaders, business moguls, and celebrities from around the world to witness their day. Inside the glittering venue, 4 show-stopping bridal looks, heartfelt tribute, and star-studded performances created an atmosphere of pure celebration. Musical giants lit up the stage while loved ones gathered to honor a bond that has endured trials, triumphs, and public fascination. With this Miami celebration, Davido and Chioma's story moves from romance into legacy, a union marked by loyalty, resilience, and the kind of love that commands a global audience.
Now in business, Niger's military government has nationalized the country's only industrial gold mine, citing serious operational and financial failures by its Australian operator. The takeover follows halted production, unpaid wages and rising debts at the Samira Hill mine, which produced 177 kilograms of gold in 2023. Authorities link the move to broader efforts across West Africa by military-led government to assert greater control over natural resources. The mine has also faced security challenges, including a deadly Hijazit attack in May that killed 8 workers.
Niger's ruling military council has seized control over the country's only industrial gold mine, a bold step in its campaign to reclaim ownership of strategic resources. The Samira Hill mine, previously run by an Australian operator, has faced months of halted production, unpaid wages, rising debts, and mounting security risk. Last year, the mine produced just 177 kilograms of gold, far below National's artisanal output. In May, a bomb attack in the jihadist-plagued Tirabani region claimed the lives of 8 mine workers, prompting the army to deploy thousands of troops to the area. The nationalization mirrors a growing trend in West Africa, where military governments in Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso have been pushing for greater state participation in mining, though Niger's outright takeover marks one of the most aggressive moves so far. Officials say the action is intended to stabilize operations, safeguard jobs, and ensure that gold revenues directly benefit the Nigerian people.
On international fronts, the United Nations Security Council has sharply criticized Israel's plan to take control of Gaza City, warning it could violate international humanitarian law and worsen the humanitarian crisis. Several member states, including the UK, France, China, and Russia, urged the plan's reversal, citing risk of further displacement, death, and regional instability. Israel defended the move as part of its strategy to dismantle remaining Hamas strongholds and free hostages, while the United States backed its ally. Protests have erupted in Israel over concerns that plans endangers hostage lives.
The United Nations is warning of what it describes as a looming catastrophe in Gaza. Israel's planned seizure of Gaza City, already devastated by months of relentless fighting, is raising alarm across the globe. International voices are growing louder. The United Kingdom, France, China, and Russia have joined calls for Israel to halt the advance, warning it could force yet another mass exodus, claim countless civilian lives, and tip a starving population into the grip of full-scale famine. Israel insists the move is critical to dismantling Hamas strongholds and securing the release of hostages, a position backed by the United States. But on the streets of Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, the mood is tense. Families of the hostages, alongside thousands of protesters, are demanding a different path, fearing that continued military escalation could seal the fate of their loved ones. The war, ignited by the Hamas's deadly assault on Israel in October 2023, has already claimed more than 61,000 lives in Gaza. Homes lie in ruins, hospitals struggle to function, and aid agencies warn that hunger itself has become a silent killer. The fate of Gaza City hangs in the balance, and with it, the lives of tens of thousands of women, men, and children trapped in a war they cannot escape.
That is all for the news, and let's take a quick recap of our headlines. In higher education, China-Africa expand higher education partnerships. In health, multiple Mpox outbreaks hit DR Congo. In entertainment, Davido and Chiome's Miami wedding shines. In international, UN condemns Israel's Gaza control plan. And now, thanks for sticking with us on the AAU TV Midweek News. My name is Maame Ekua, Otuakoa, Nyame. Get interactive with us on our social media platforms via Association of African Universities. Do enjoy the rest of your week.